Hey everybody, this is Everyday Commentary, and I am going to record a video about these two knives. The knife on the top is the Hinder Dauntless Compact from Triple Lock Design, and the knife on the bottom is the Prometheus Design Works Terrain. It's actually the Terrain 365 version of the Invictus ATC. The ATC is a compact version, hence the C, of the Invictus AT. And I believe that's at the ready. I don't know. I forget what it stands for. Something. All-terrain. I don't know. Some baloney. Anyway, the two knives are both sort of designed or inspired by Patrick Ma, and one is made by his old company. One is made in collaboration with his new company. This one was made in the United States. It's made by Hinder. This one is made in China. I believe it is made by Best Tech. The Hinderer has, oh look, magnetic blade steel, because it's actually steel. This knife runs 20 CV blade steel. It is an excellent blade steel. This is an excellent knife. Love this knife. The Terrain 365 version does not run blade steel. It actually runs, it is 100% non-magnetic. There is not a scrap of things on this knife that are magnetic, as opposed to the stuff on the Hinderer. This knife is a little different. It's a little bit narrower, and that narrowness does have an impact on the knife. So if you notice, let me see if I can find something that's really straight. All right, we'll just we'll use this long threaded bolt. So if you notice, that's the angle between the thumb stud and the pivot. Let's see if I can, actually, I'm gonna go get a protractor. All right, I'm back. I have the protractor. Let's see if we can do this. So we'll put the protractor right at the bottom of the knife. And then so we're looking at something like 60 degrees, right? This pivot and this thumb stud are almost in line with each other. And so when you go to open it, if you do what you normally do on a thumb stud knife, which is like push like this, it will never budge. So what you have to use is and you can see my fingernails a little chewed up. You have to use your fingernail to do a coin flip like that. If you preload the coin flip at exactly the right spot, right there, the knife pops open with almost no effort. Once you disengage the detent, it flies open. Really, really smooth opening. But you have got to be like sniper precise with the opening. Whereas if you look at this knife, do the same thing. Let's put the protractor up here. And let's see if we can't move that out a little bit. So we're doing something at a much steeper angle. I'm trying to get this protractor right. So we're doing something at like somewhere between 65 and 70 degrees. And it's a much tighter radius. So even just a slight tap here, and the knife flies open. And I can do this with the fat pad of my thumb, which is brutally tough on this guy. In fact, I don't think I've ever opened it that way. But once you get the hang of it, it's not bad at all. It means the knife isn't going to pop open in your pocket by any means. The other thing that's interesting about these two knives is this is the tri-way pivot, and it's a really nice, well-made, buttered edges, all that kind of stuff. Hinder. This has a lot of touches that are not seen on most production knives, like blind pocket clip. That's pretty cool. There's no screws here. The screws are on the inside. And it has a full backspacer, which we don't see anymore. It has this recessed area with a pin for the lanyard. And then it has this really cool V groove machined into the entire, you can see it there, machined inside into the entire backspacer. So it really does make sure that the blade lines up absolutely perfectly. And it does. A couple other things that are nice about this knife. It has 2 lightning pockets here on the outside or the inside of the lock bar. Just a little bit of weight savings, nothing crazy. This is a pretty dense knife. It's not heavy, but it's dense. It's under 4 ounces. This knife has nothing in terms of lightning, and it has a full scale on this side. So this is actually just a G10 cover. It's not a G10 scale. But these are really nice, good-looking knives. If you are a knife guy, this aesthetic is just like catnip. It is so, so cool to look at. I like carrying both of them. This knife has had a little bit of a loose pivot issue. Let's see if we can hear it. No, you can't hear it. Little bit of a loose pivot. This had a loose pivot issue too when I first got it. I have since Loctited the pivot and it has stayed shut. Really, really cool looking knives. Some of my favorite production knives. This knife is just absolutely gorgeous. Oh, love the blade shape. Love the blade shape. Choil's a little different. This choil's not quite as big as this choil. This choil is like unmistakable. If you have fingers, you're gonna find the choil. This one, you could like reasonably miss it, or if you have like fat chubbo fingers, they won't fit in there. But other than, you know, like a couple of differences, the same look and feel, I really like these knives. I like both of them. And like, you know, which one do I keep? I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm probably going to keep both of them for a while, and then after a couple of years, figure out which one I like less and get rid of it. This one is still in production, albeit in small batches. This one is no longer in production, and it's hard to find on the secondary market. So that's a quick comparison between the Dauntless and the Invictus, the Dauntless Compact and the Invictus ATC. Thanks.